G'day guys, what is going on and welcome back to another video on the YouTube channel. Today it is round 7 / ANZAC round tips. Since it is ANZAC round, I thought let's get a guest on, and our guest for today is the one and only, the classic person that we always get on, Shannon Humphries.
Thank you for having me on, and what a win for the Eagles last round in the Derby.
Indeed.
Now, before we get started with our tips, we're not going to go through what happened last round, because last round was one of the worst rounds of tipping yet. I only got 3 out of 9.
It was 8 games. I got 5 out of 8. I got 5 out of 8 last round.
It was one of the worst rounds for me.
You don't have to go over your tips, but I will go over mine. So I tipped St Kilda and Adelaide. They didn't get the job done. So my wrong tips were St Kilda, Adelaide and Brisbane. I tipped 3 of those sides to win, and they lost. And then my right tips, I got Collingwood right, Carlton right, West Coast right, Sydney right, and Hawthorn right. So obviously the Eagles fans getting up and about after that win.
Breaking the hearts of the Dockers fans.
I was at the game. I was at the game as well.
You are a failure. Flag mantle not even happening now. If they drop this game the next week, then there's serious problems with the Dockers.
Shannon, did you know that I was at the game?
Oh yeah.
All right. Then it's actually pretty good how this is going right now. What I'm about to mention. It's actually a good race. We're just going to mention before we get on with our tips the Coleman Medal race. And now, so the person that's leading it is Jesse Hogan with 21 goals.
Except he copped a 1-match suspension, which is bloody ridiculous.
Oh, Tom Barras.
Hogan.
Oh, Hogan did.
So did Toby Green. He had a history of suspensions and fines.
Well, I hope Waterman kicks 5 goals, so then he has more goals than him.
Well, Waterman's in 3rd at the moment with 17.
Yeah, anyways, the top 3 are Hogan on the top with 21, Kerno with 20 in 2nd, and then Jake Waterman with 17 in 3rd.
And there were some players on 14 goals. Ben King, Jeremy Cameron, and Mackay.
Mackay's on 16.
I thought he was on 14 for a minute there.
That was Waitman, who is also on 14. But anyways, let's get that out of the way and let's move on to the tips. So the first game to start off ANZAC round on the Wednesday night. That's actually a weird fixture. It is a weird one. It is the Richmond Tigers taking on the Melbourne Demons at the MCG, 5:25 p.m. AWST time. And it should be what I've seen from these both sides. If West Coast can smash Richmond by 40, surely the D's can at least do it by 5 goals.
Well, both teams are coming off from a bye anyway.
Yep. And then before that, Melbourne came off a loss, I believe. Was it a loss? To who they're playing round 5?
What did they have a win?
Let me actually just double check that. It's not very good statistics for me. In round 5, so the Demons last game, it was a loss against the Brisbane Lions by 22, and then the Tigers last game was a loss to West Coast by 39. Both sides are not having the D's are having a really good year, looking like a top 4 side. The Tigers are looking like a bottom 4 side, and then I think the only person that I think is going to tip Richmond is Studi. No one else will, and that's why I'm going the D's by 34. What is your tip, Shannon?
If West Coast can smash teams like they did against a depleted Richmond side and they spank the Dockers, I think the D's can absolutely spank them, put their percentage even more dent, and put Adam Uze under the pump. I really think the D's should get it done by a 49-50 point win. I say a 50-point win. It'll be a flogging. 50 points the D's will win by.
That's not a bad call, Shannon. But anyways, moving on to probably... This could be, maybe, other than the grand final, could be the biggest crowd of the 2024 AFL season. And a lot of people will be at this game, and it's going to be an absolute thriller, at least it should be. The Bombers take on the Pies on ANZAC Day at 1:20pm AWST, Thursday 25th of April at the MCG. Both sides came off a win. Obviously, the robbery, Essendon beat Adelaide, and then Collingwood beat Port Adelaide by 7 goals, which was amazing from the Pies. And I've seen how Essendon have been playing lately.
I like the way that Nick, Josh, DeGoey, even a Steel Siren and Pendlebury can do all sorts of damage in that side.
Yeah.
Some of those players are going to be dangerous. But especially Nick Davis, who is one of the favourite Brownlow contenders for this year. If he stays fit and healthy, he might get enough votes and pinch the Brownlow.
Correct. Anyways, what I was talking about before, I was seeing how Essendon have been playing. They really usually don't deserve their wins. They didn't deserve it against Adelaide. The Hawthorn game, they didn't really deserve that win as well. Then they deserve the one against the Bulldogs for sure. And then they probably, they probably didn't deserve it against the Saints, I wouldn't say. Or they could have. I thought the Saints would have won. And I've seen how the Pies play. No matter when they lose, it's not by a big margin. Obviously, they lost to Saints by 15, Swans by 33, which
They lost to GWS in the opening round.
Yeah, GWS by 32 they lost. And then since that, they've won. They won against Brisbane. They won against
Brisbane against
Hawthorn.
Hawks.
And then they won against Port Adelaide.
Obviously spanked the Power.
Yeah.
Port Adelaide could be out of the 8 if they keep losing games like this.
Exactly. And the Pies are just playing like a much better team, and I reckon the Pies
They're a dangerous contender this year. They're a dangerous contender for the flag.
Yeah, I'm going to tip the Pies by 29. Moving on to the next game at Manuka Oval. Sorry, Shannon. What's your tip?
You always forget. Pies by 32, and I think the ANZAC Day medalist, I think it's either going to go to Pendlebury, one of the Dacos brothers, or even a side bottom, but we'll see who it is at the end of the game.
Those are medalist is Josh Dacos for me. My ANZAC medalist is Josh Dacos.
I'm going to say Josh Dacos as well, but don't be surprised if it was Nick Dacos again, or even a Pendlebury or a side bottom kind of player.
True, Shannon. Anyways, sorry about forgetting about you, but let's move on to the next game at Manuka Oval. Also on ANZAC Day, the night game on ANZAC Day, it's the Giants taking on the Lions at Manuka at 5:30 AWST time. The Giants are the favourites,
coming
obviously.
Off with losses.
Yeah,
Brisbane got spanked by Geelong at home, and GWS got spanked at Marvel by Carlton.
And what I've seen from Brisbane, the Gabba, is they don't play good at the Gabba. Nah, not this season they don't. And then
Get rid of the Gabba, replace it, demolish it.
Anyways, the Giants obviously lost to Carlton, but it was really either way. That was an even game. And then Brisbane against Geelong recorded their lowest score ever at the Gabba of 37. And if the Lions keep playing like this, they are not a top 8 contender. They'll probably still top 8, but not even top 7 or 6.
Not even
And in that
the
case,
flag contenders yet.
yeah, and the Giants are still playing like a top four side. It wasn't like a big loss to Carlton, and Carlton are a top four side as well. So in that case, I'm going to the Giants. I'm tipping the Giants to win by 18 in this one. What's your tip, Shannon?
Well, considering the Giants are still heavy favourites, they're $5.50 to win the flag. Yeah, if the Lions lose another game, then I don't know what is wrong with the Brisbane Lions. If Fagan's men keep losing games like that, then Chris Fagan might have to be sacked. Get a new
Actually,
coach for the Lions.
I've just looked at the odds. The Giants are $1.94 and Brisbane are
Yeah.
$1.90. How is that?
That is quite strange. The odds has gone Brisbane's way, but it's at Manuka Oval. The Giants play well at home. There is no way the Giants will drop this game. I'm going Giants by 30. They're going to be about Jesse
That's
Hogan
fantastic.
and Toby Green. But the
All right,
Giants are
moving
going
on.
to try and challenge that one match suspension and overturn it. So they'll both be free to play.
All right. Anyways, moving on to the next game. At Adelaide Oval, the Port Adelaide Power take on the Saints. 5:40 p.m. 8 overseas Friday night game, April 26th. Now, Port Adelaide are the favourites, obviously coming off that loss to Collingwood, 42 points, and then Saints coming off
And the
that
Saints got
60-point
absolutely
loss to the
flogged by the
Bulldogs.
Bulldogs by 60 points, 10 goals. That is not how you play a game of footy like that.
And I agree with that, Shannon. I don't reckon Port will drop this game, and it's at the Adelaide Oval as well. And that's why I said the Saints will finish 12th. I just knew they're not a top 8 contender this year. If they're going to get smashed like that every week, not every week, but by like 30, 20 points every week, they're not going to make the 8. And it's at the Adelaide Oval. Port is still a top 4 contender, and Collingwood are as
Port
well.
are
So you
very
can't really
hard
say
to
anything.
Port are a very hard team to beat at home. Just like Adelaide. Both SA clubs are very hard teams to beat. Just like
Correct.
Freo and West Coast, two hard teams to beat. And Gold Coast, very hard to beat. Brisbane can be very easily be beaten by some good opposition teams.
Anyways, I didn't actually say my tip. My tip's going to be the Port Adelaide Power to get the job done by 37 points. What's your tip, Shannon?
I just don't see St Kilda getting up. If Lost Lions men are going to play horribly this season, I predicted them to finish 11th on the ladder. They only won one flag, and that was way back in '66. I bet they're going to get flogged again. The Saints are going to get flogged. Port Adelaide by 55, and I reckon it'll be an ugly blowout for the Saints. I mean, sure, they can play all four quarters, but Port Adelaide will just be too good. With the likes of Ford Francis, Wines, Mitch Georgiades, Sava Lenagalier, Zerk Thatcher, Sweet, and Soldo. All those sorts of players can do all sorts of damage in the forward line, in the midfield line, and the likes of Charlie Dixon as well. I'm going Port by 55. It'll be a blowout. Saints kicked out of the Adelaide Oval. Port will get another win on the board. After they should bounce back this week. So Port by 55, and it'll be a blowout.
All right, we've already been recording for 14 minutes, so we're just going to get through the rest of these games hopefully quickly. We're not going to get through them super quickly, but we'll still get through them in around 20 minutes. So, anyways, moving on to the next game at Blundstone Arena, the North Melbourne Kangaroos take on the Adelaide Crows. I'm not even going to say anything about this game. North probably will probably
They
most
were
likely to finish
pathetic
last.
against Hawthorn.
Yeah,
They
they
were
were horrible
pathetic.
against Hawthorn. They're horrible against Hawthorn, and if they play like that every game, which they usually do, get smashed by 70, 60 points every game, I'm definitely not tipping them against Adelaide. Even though it's at Blundstone, I'm not going to tip them, and I'm going to tip the Adelaide Crows to get their second win of the season by 71 points.
Oh, yeah. This one's too easy. I don't see North Melbourne getting up. I reckon it'll be an ugly blowout for the North Melbourne Kangaroos. I bet they're going to get flogged by 80 points. It'll be a
Ooh.
blowout, just like the Port Saints game. And I reckon Adelaide will beat them by 80 to go 0-7 to start off the season. And it's not going to be a good start for North, especially when they've lost 6 on the trot. It will be their 7th loss. So, Adelaide by 80. It will probably be a boring game anyway. So, Adelaide by 80.
All right, moving on to the next game at the MCG. Geelong take on Carlton. 2:35 p.m. AWT at the MCG. Geelong favourites to get this done by 20 cents. And I reckon this will be game of the round 100%. Actually, I don't know about that, but it's going to be one of them. I'm going to say...
Well, both teams coming off with wins on the weekend. Geelong beating Brisbane at their home ground. Brisbane are winless at the Gabba. And Carlton coming off a good win against GWS. They know their home ground very well at Marvel. They tend to kick out some good teams, but also get flogged by bad teams.
Correct. And I'm going to say Geelong will actually go 7-0, and they will win this game by 3 points in an absolute thriller at the G. What's your tip?
Oh, this will be a very close game. But I think... Now, let's see. I'm going Geelong, but don't discount Carlton. They can pull off an upset. But I reckon they'll get another loss on the board. And I say Geelong will get it done by the 20-point margin, 20 points. And I say Tomahawk to kick 5 as my bold call. 4 to 5 goals is my bold call.
Okay.
I'm only going to make just one bold call, and that is Tom Hawkins to kick around 4 to 5 goals. That will get him closer to the 800 goal mark. He only needs 10 more anyway.
I'm moving on to the next game at Optus Stadium. The Freo Dockers take on the Bulldogs. And I'm just honestly...
Both teams coming off... One team's coming off a win and one's coming off a loss. Bulldogs coming off a flogging win against the Saints. 60 points. And Freo coming off a disappointing loss in the Derby against my boys by 39 points.
37.
Oh, I thought it was 39.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually tip both. I'm exactly on the same track as Shannon. Both sides are not having a bad season, but not having the best season.
One's having a bad season and one isn't.
Yeah, I'm gonna tip the Bulldogs to win by 21 at Optus, and Bont will absolute star. What's your tip?
Well, it's at Optus. I'm gonna tip Fremantle to get back on track. They'll get it done by 30. The last time these two met, this was in the 2022 semi-final or 2021 semi-final, whatever year it was. I reckon it was 2022 when they lost to Collingwood. One of those 2 years, either 2021 or 2022.
All right, so did you tip? Hold on, sorry about that. I was just having a little daydream there. What was your tip?
I said Freo by 31.
Freo by 31. Okay. Next game on the Sunday, the West Coast Eagles take on the Gold Coast Suns at People First Stadium. 11th
both teams coming off with wins on the weekend.
Yes, both teams coming off of wins, and
Gold Coast.
All I'm gonna say is that
Gold Coast coming off a good win.
I'm gonna say the miraculous thing that West Coast will get the job done by 17 points at People First Stadium in Gold Coast. I just love the way that West Coast have been playing those past 2 games. They've
If
been
we keep
ripping
this
their
performance
oppositions
up,
apart they're the best team in the comp. And I'm just
we
gonna
de-
say that the Eagles will
like
win by
against the depleted Richmond side and the depleted Fremantle side. I'm
What's
going to
your
go
tip,
to
Shannon?
Suns by. I'm going to Suns by 25. The last time we played against the Suns at Optus, the Suns got the job done. The Suns will probably get it done, but don't discount us. We can. If we keep this up, we might even pull off some more upsets. So I'm tipping Gold Coast just to be safe, but I wouldn't be surprised if we pull off an upset win again, like we did in the last 2 weeks.
Alright. I'm gonna go. Oh, the next game, Hawthorn v Sydney, the MCG, the last game of the round, 2 p.m. AWST. Both sides have. Oh no, both sides came off a win on the Sunday, which is the day we are
Sydney
filming
coming off a
this.
good win. Sydney coming off a good win against Gold Coast, and Hawthorn coming off a good win against a depleted North Melbourne side. I just cannot see North Melbourne win a single game. They might be the favourites to win the wooden spoon now.
Indeed, Shannon. But I'm just going to say that Hawthorn are definitely out of this game. They will not win it. And I'm just going to say that the Swans will win by 45. What is your tip, Shannon?
I think the Swans are heavy favourites coming into this game.
Yeah, they're favourites by a couple of dollars. They're favourites by around $2.
Sydney by 48. They'll probably get it done. But I wouldn't be surprised if Hawthorn caused the upset win. Don't be surprised. Hawthorn can do some damage, but it won't do enough. Hopefully Hawthorn regret getting rid of Alistair Clarkson because of the racist things that happened at the club. So Sydney by 48. And I'm only going to make the one bold call, and that was for the Geelong Carlton game. And I said Tomahawk to kick 4 to 5 goals. So that is my bold call. My bold call, Tomahawk kick 4 to 5 goals.
All right, well,
we'll see how many goals he kicks on the weekend. We'll see how many goals he kicks on the weekend.
All right. Guess what time it is, guys? It is time to end the video. We've done all our tips for this round 7 ANZAC round tips. Thank you guys so much for watching this another tips video on the YouTube channel. We'll see you on the next one, guys.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and type down in the comments if you want me to be on for any more episodes of the tipping.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.